Just a couple of announcements. First of all, there's a sign up for the open mic after the reading. So if you have something to read, or if you want to do something extemporaneous and you want some time in front of a group of people, go back there and put your name on the list.
Yeah.
And you'll have 7 minutes to read or talk. And if it goes beyond the 7 minutes, we'll clap you off the stage. Okay. So the next Helicon West is March 22nd, and it's the Bullpen Slam. The Bullpen is the creative writing club, and they've been, I think, working hard on writing slam poems, so that should be great. So there's no Helicon West over USU spring break. If you'd like, grab some Cafe Ibis coffee in the back when you get a chance. Thanks to the Logan Library for the facilities and the chairs. The roof, the ceiling, everything is provided by the Logan Public Library. We thank them for that. This will be video recorded, and so if you're a student, if you're a person that does not want to be recorded, that's perfectly fine. Just let Amias know, get his attention. This is a symbol that means do not record me. It means other things as well, but he will take it as do not record me. Okay.
I'll probably like gesture vaguely at the camera and you'll nod.
Yeah.
Okay, get my attention and I'll ask.
Okay. So I'm so pleased to introduce my students tonight reading their poems. I wish they had longer to read their poems because so far this semester they've really produced some wonderful stuff. And what I've been impressed with about this group is that, well, first of all, I'm impressed that they come every week. That's excellent because it's a class on a Friday afternoon, and it's once a week, so it lasts for 3 hours. And we all love poetry, but for 3 hours on a Friday afternoon, you're really testing that love. It takes strength. But they've remained enthusiastic and friendly with one another, and they've given great feedback to one another. So I think some of the poems that they've refined so far, you'll hear tonight. The other thing that I'm really impressed by is their willingness to try new things. And one of the things that I like to do in my classes is expose students to different kinds of poetry. Poetry that I think they probably haven't seen before or heard before. And so some of these students they've written digital poems. Many of them have never done that before, so that was sort of an experiment for them. They've written poems specific to sort of a performance context. They've played with all sorts of sonic devices. They've tried to mix different tones. And so I've been really impressed with what I've seen so far. I'm going to just go down the list of names here first. They're going to introduce themselves before they read, but I just want to introduce them all together first. And after they read, I'll read a few poems, and then we'll open it up to the open mic. Okay, so here's the lineup. First up is Madison Asbill, and then Caleb Berryman, Alex Bradford, Zachary Brown, Beth Cotton, Colton. Colton. Somebody wrote Cotton on my sheet. Oh, that was me. I wrote Cotton by accident. Mattiah Cook, Heidi Gudmundson, Justyn Hardy, Claire Harlan, Sadie Leonhardt, Samantha Mace, J.R. Macriss, Anda Pearson, Lexie Reese, Parker Schofield, and Alyssa Witbeck. Okay, so we're going to start out with Madison Asbill.
So I will be reading a poem called A Weekend Alive, and I guess I'll just start that because I have nothing else to say to you. Okay. Thick sole-booted snow, finger-dragging smooth stone, rough rock prints ripple over juts and divots, over drop-off trail sides, under wind-sculpted cave mouths, whistling wind, whispering wind. Unspilled water eyes squint through cold mask skin that makes multi-layered warmth warmer. Sleeves and sleeves and sleeves and sleep. In the car back blanket nest, open-eyed sleep where thick droplets drip, cool the back of his neck, your forehead. The crows outside call, call, call. Curl in that cramped forever and wake to morning and night at once. The sky gray shade lighter than earth and darker than you, wild scarf-choked live one. He holds your hand before you decide to sleep again.
Hi, I'm Kayla, and this is called Scarecrows, Witches, and Chickens. Scarecrows, Witches, and Chickens, oh my. Scarecrow Susan kept the crows under her bed in an old Converse shoebox. The crows were restless, of course, cawing in the middle of the night so Scarecrow Susan couldn't sleep, hissing, "Never, never," from inside the cardboard box. One night, Scarecrow Susan opened the box to tell the crows, "Shut up," and the crows flew out in a burst of feathers and flapping animal sounds. The crows flew about her bedroom, perched on her mirror, never pretty enough, the crows cawed. The crows landed on her bookshelf, full of Virginia Woolf, The Crucible, and Nathaniel Hawthorne, flapped about her desk, tipped over a tin mug with No. 2 pencils and Sharpie highlighters. Never, never smart enough, the crows croaked. The crows zoomed in a tornado of bird smell around Scarecrow Susan's head. Never, 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 ever good enough, they chanted, biting her face, pecking at her straw hair, pulling at the threads which held her together. A scarecrow scared of crows, oh my! Scarecrow Susan's parents, the not quite normal magicians, heard their daughter screaming. Her mother opened the bedroom window, and her father chased the crows out with a fly-speckled swatter. "Susie, Princess, honey," her parents said. "You cannot let those crows back in," said her mother. "Why did you keep them under your bed in a box?" asked her father. The crows were already scratching at the window screen, squeezing their way through the cracks. "Maybe she'll be safe at my mom's house," Scarecrow Susan's father said. Scarecrow Susan's grandmother, the wicked grandmother Weston, collected capes, shoes, and costume jewelry from Goodwill and lived in a gingerbread house deep in the woods against her doctor's advice. Wicked grandmother Weston was also a witch, but claimed otherwise. A scarecrow scared of crows, a witch for a grandmother, oh my. The not quite normal magicians bundled Scarecrow Susan in a pink cape and sent her into the woods to visit wicked grandmother Weston. Scarecrow Susan walked down the winding, twining path to her grandmother's house. A chicken ran across the path, head down, panting in a red State Agricultural College t-shirt. "If I can run fast enough, I won't think about the sky falling. If I can run fast enough, I'll still be on time to my shift at the Early Bird Cafe," said the chicken. Scarecrow Susan stopped in her tracks and watched the chicken run deeper into the woods. Scarecrows scared of crows, witches for grandmothers, chickens running and working at cafes, major health code violations, oh my.
I'm Alex, and this is called Wren Lace Weaver. The protomartyr's position, portrayed by little brown wrens, rap-a-tap upon a signaling drum. Wren won't leave the holly tree on St. Stephen's Day. She roosts between her 5 had-been white eggs, speckled with flecks of red martyr's blood. Young are protected by lightning that strikes the hands and houses of these after them. Not Wren. Her sacred status expired with the pagans. The old year set to die, but she hides. Even still, now hush, stay hush. Wait until the Wren boys go by in a rush, singing their songs, asking for treats for a job well done. They won't chase her down as good Christians do. She's much too clever for them to find, placed atop their pole of decorated discredit. And out she comes with her trailing yawn as her children scamper away. Fox snatches chickens that left the farm fence and offers her the bones to use as bobbins. Wrens are too small for eating. Fox admires her. "Tell me, is it true your ancestor won the king of all birds trial by riding eagle's back?" "Of course," says she, "and you can be my queen." Quills and thistle spines pinned on evergreen leaves, and she weaves and weaves and weaves, the horsehair and silkworm threads, bounding about with bone bobbins clamoring, like a chime in the harvest wind. Wren ties off her lace and crowns Fox, master of false trails that deceive hounds. Will rule the wood forever, her diadem, the size of a wedding ring, jeweled with Fox's druid pearl, and feathers believed to keep a man from drowning. She rocks on his shoulder blade as they parade, 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 up the mountainside, above the hedgerow corridors, as spring arises from its grave.
Hi, I'm Zach Brown. I'll be reading to you a poem that is based off of the found form of a course book list for an English class. Required texts, English 20XX. Introduction to the lyrical nuances of foundational poetry. Instructor version, pre-revision, pre-release. 1. Writing handbook by author renowned only in niche circles. 2. Obscure collection of poems or short stories. The more obscurity is key. 3. Much Ado About Nothing, Shakespeare. 4. Spicy minority author, any text. Footnote, to give students a sense of diversity and also appease department requirements. 5. PDF example of good writing. Note to self, fix page 7's orientation. 6. Latest edition of my newest published work. Purchase, do not rent or borrow. Please recommend to friends. 7. https://randompoetrywebsite.com/it's free /error not found. 8. Another book students won't have time to read. 9. BYOB, bring your own book. 10. TBD, because ambiguity is healthy. Also, I'm making this up as I go.
I'm Beth Cotton.
Colton?
And I'm going to be doing an old poem that I had a bit of a fun time experimenting with, so I'll give you the original and the experimented version. Behind the mountain of buildings and under the sky of expectations, I enjoy the tree that turns gold as the sun sets. The sweet smell of honey tea overwhelms my senses, and all of a sudden, I am no longer myself. I am a part of a long-forgotten civilization, lost yet one with the masses of walking trees beside me, the pure harmonies of the wind whistling around me, creating a melody so honest I feel it in my very soul. A Japanese word, komorebi, comes to mind as I look upon the sunlight filtering through the leaves of each tree. All too soon, the scene begins to fade, and I am left staring at the city's sole golden tree. In the metropolis of busybodies, a feeling of loneliness settles. Empty with nature's loss, I lean close to my steadily cooling drink, wanting so desperately to get back to the filtered light, the singing wind, to the grandfather trees as busy as humans, and to the connected feeling of the earth. I'm wanting to get back to nature's New York. And this is how Google Translate sees my poetry. Home. I look toward heaven. I love old trees in the sun. Dear soul, I'm glad I hope suddenly I have not come to an end yet. I am a part of it. Long-lasting culture has been lost, but one of them. The trees are moving towards me, clearly. Contact me, very happy and realistic. I know it in my mind. Japanese river, how are you worried? Sun change, every tree is a tree. The situation is not yet clear in the near future. I am in this village, the forest of Bamian Gerudo. And Bamian, I'm feeling good. When I place the land, it is Lord. The winter closure, this is the worst. The lighting is the light of light. I am very busy. I cannot. People and emotions have been broken. I would like to rule you, of course.
Hey everybody, my name is Mattiah Cook, and I have two kind of short poems for you. The first is called Eulogy. What a beautiful day, perfect for my cat's funeral. The sun is a shiny gold coin in the sky I could snatch away and put in my pocket, keeping me warm as we throw dirt over his lifeless body. We bury him just outside my room, among the firs and bleeding hearts, some of my favorite flowers. They'll grow tall and beautiful, fertilized by his decomposing corpse. My mom cries the whole way through. She took care of him from his cute kitten days to his times as senile old man. She should be glad she can stop paying his medical bills. He always meowed outside my window at 5:30 a.m. on a Saturday and barfed on the living room floor, which was my responsibility to clean. Those days were annoying, and I'll miss them.
The second one is called Teardrop Agenda. Well, 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 in a cell, stuck in the ducts of my eyeball shell, flurrying, blurring ocean jail, torrents of tears form a man-made gale. Drip, drip, drip off a cliff, over the lines of my hieroglyph, slip down the ruts of my saline rift, follow the stream of this lacrimal gift. Fall, fall, fall from the wall, fly through the air in a teardrop crawl, dive at the ground like a cannonball, dance to the floor at the midnight ball.
My name's Heidi Gudmundson, and I'm going to read 2 shorter poems. And the first one is called Dreamscape. Rippling river glistens, reflecting sun rays, whispers bade to listen. I fall under nature's spell, trees' shadows felled, as time tells me tales. Birds turn to purple fairies, who flit silver wings, where there are giants and brownies. Water nymphs and dryads whisk me away where there's no adversaries. Griffins with weathered wings and wise centaurs protect from medieval kings. More fantastic than it seems, laying in green blades, lost in a world of dreams. And the next one is based off of my current job, which is at a call center. So it's called the call center. This is a bad time. Click. Phones are hanging up everywhere. Click, click. I want to pull out all my hair. Click, click. Bloodshot eyes as I blankly stare. I wonder why it is I stay. Will you answer some click? Voices hum and constantly chatter. Click, click. My coworkers are all that really matter. Click, click. We joke about getting fatter. Click, click. I wonder why it is I stay. Thank you.
Hello all, my name is Justyn Hardy. I'll be reading 2 shorter poems today. The first is entitled A Farmer, and it takes inspiration from my hometown of Star Valley. And I like to think that Cather's beloved Roski might approve. A farmer. Amber skies whisper over farm and field, as cotton sheep and dairy cows trudge through thistle, worn like a sun-baked saddle, like the crow's long caw. The tired man mulls his chew on the patio. He muses at the empty swing, rocking beneath the elm, and waits to move, to speak, to think, to remember. The wheat stalks ripple as the murmurs of empty wind coat the hollow plow lines with dry, red dust. House timbers buckle beneath countless set suns. Wild grass slips under barbed wire to choke alfalfa, but waits for the wispy clouds to swell and burst. Amber skies whisper over farm and field. With back bent and knees swollen, he steps onto the dirt, tilled, plowed, and sowed. A man's land, his land. Second poem is entitled Dive into the Gale. It's more of a Go Aggies Go theme, I suppose. And I took a lot of inspiration from the reverberations of Thomas Dillon. Dive into the gale, into the tempest, against the barren fingers, against the stretch of a coiled curator, whispering letters of illness to each who dare trod upon the doorstep. Fly, they say, fly to the woods, the dense pines, the rubied glade, the silent stream that slips against the bedrock. Do not wade, do not struggle to swim. Fight against the current, dressed frocks and gambits leering like smiles, concerned eyes, soft hands, and a gentle touch, a whisper, a lie. Dive into the gale, butcher it if you must, ride through the valley, low or high, upon horseback, ride, stumble, crawl, but dive, dive, dive into the gale. Thank you.
So Claire isn't here. She has a dress rehearsal. So.
Hello, my name is Sadie, and I'm going to read a short poem called The Conversation. Out of long habit, we spoke but didn't converse. It felt dignified and certain. It forced life forward. A raging fire dies to a quickly cooling ember. A fat drop of rain joins a larger body of water. Molten lava solidifies to a smooth rock. A breeze drifts in through the open window. Passions cooled, then clear and hard. Formal, cold. I felt as though I'd been slapped. Thank you.
Sam here?
Hello. My name is JR. My little friend here is identification, please. Labels are stupid. A lot of them are, each and every one. People are stupid, and I blame them for everything. I'm allowed to. They throw around labels and identifiers of groups and packs on people of them or not just to group them together to attack them, so I can't say I like people. They're more harmful than good, more savage than civilized. Hating politics when they aren't of the same party, hating religion when it isn't the same God, hating race when it isn't their skin color, hating sex when it's not what they were taught. It controls their judgment, has them love and hate people unconditionally, and reasonably. Forbids them from actually using their brains to judge characters. All because they chose to go by a simple label. In a world where nothing will ever be simple, because people have tainted everything for everyone, and refuse to see people as individuals. I'm stuck here. Just a bunch of words on a sheet of paper, refusing to be called a poem because I'm not poetic. I don't rhyme, I don't have a jingle, I'm not filled to the brim with imagery to make you visualize the city of 1,000 planets. Just a voice wanting to share. Nothing more.
I'm on to Pearson. I'm going to be reading a poem called The Work. We did whole group workshop on it last week, so it's a new revision. Okay. Your love was the copious kind, and I sat at your feet, swallowing the solution of liquid vapor dumped through my hungry jaw. You kept from me the drought that parched your skin and turned fresh wounds to scabs, which you ripped off, but kept enjoys at the foot of your bed, set as daily reminders. But the kids, never let the kids see. Show them that it is only dirt residing in fine china, and your scars are only skin, and your thirst is artificial, and those skinny white envelopes decorated with red stamps are simply letters of love. You gave me everything at the expense of your needs, and while I was filled, almost drowning, you refused to drink.
Lexie?
Okay. I like to remember if I was next or not.
So the next three are Lexie, Parker, and then Alyssa.
I've had a cold the past 2 weeks, so we'll see how this sounds. But I'm reading 2 poems. One of them is really short, one is like medium. So the first one is called Change. How are you, I ask, while the guffaws of 3 old women swirl inside the curvature of my ears as they untangle our twine. I show you the white-leafed willow in my backyard, and you try to convince me it's black. So I catch your tears on the tips of my fingers and put them in my own eyes, while trying to tell you that sometimes I feel like a side character in my own life, and that I miss our laughter, filling the bowls at Applebee's, because our friendship was fused, like the key in your old car's ignition. The old women string us along with their polished threads, laughing because all bonds drift. Yet we spent all our money on the fibers of moments lost. The fates watch us with protruding eyes. Even though I don't believe in them, even though drifting is not drowning, I tug our strings from their withered fingers and release the auroral strands to ride the breeze. Okay, the second one is called We Arrive Red. We arrive red, bawling like clementines dripping citrus, pulp dribbling out our mouths. Our first attempt to pill words from our tongues and ache, perhaps trying to articulate a longing for the sunshine hands that plucked us from that great tree and peered at us with celestial eyes. Thank you.
I'm going to need to contextualize this one a little bit. So when I began dating my significant other, I was obliged into a digital scavenger hunt experience. And midweek through that, I found myself slathered in syrup so I could roll in maple leaves for a camera. I'm told it's on YouTube. I didn't want to confirm. And as odd as that may sound, that was sort of a sweet moment. And then afterwards, shared just a sweet moment. My significant other, when we were cleaning up the mess. So this is called technically sappy poetry. Trees kiss sticky and hickey maple leaves. They lap and sap maple molasses smudging glasses, amber streaking sights focusing through gold-viewed clothes dripping in a puddle on the washroom tile. Phloem float over skin, parfum filling pores. Canadian conditioner flowing over and in. Xylem sap syrup stick from a tree with wild maple roots of hair. Shampoo, rinsed amber, nature condensed. Clean steam condensation collect on lenses, spectacular and monocots brunette. Spigot lips, smile, maplewood nymph collecting lists of saps and kiss, rendering pailfuls of memory and verse, reverse, reread, read aloud, and from vermilion, lick sunset residue of the Friday we stood under faucet rain like naked maples.
Wow. My name is Alyssa, and I'm reading a poem called Question Number 13, but the title is pending. I practice saying thank you when someone tells me I'm smart or look pretty. My tongue almost spits, no, I'm not. The people that tell me I look pretty have not noticed the scar on my left collarbone from a mole removed as a teenager. Sneaking out from my neckline, it whispered the inconsistencies on my skin. People who tell me I'm smart don't know the answer to question number 13 on my first college level final exam I took in 10th grade was X, not the square root of X, which dipped my grade to an A-. The 4.0 students all stood together with an additional sash. If I hadn't changed my answer, I would have stood with them. In elementary school, I woke up early for honor choir. In 7th grade choir, I tried out for a solo. When my voice cracked on one of the high notes, my teacher smirked. Since then, I've refused to sing. I write poetry to practice reflecting on self-love. When my classmates and professor write in red pen over what looks too much like prose, I say, thank you for your feedback, and scribble over my experiences, trying to force running and running and running and running into musicality and metaphor. The other day, I passed a guy on the sidewalk who said to me, nice earrings. I reached up and felt to see if I was wearing 2 different earrings, or if they didn't match my outfit, or if one of them had fallen out, because my earrings weren't great and neither am I because of that stupid A- and how my left eye squints up and my right eye doesn't, and it's so unsymmetrical, and all of the studies say that symmetry equals beauty and perfection, so where does that leave me then? I attend a lot of therapy. My therapists say I need to build self-confidence by complimenting myself. It's not healthy to yell at my reflection watching my own teeth snarl. One therapist challenges me to verbalize something I like about myself before walking away from bathroom mirrors. I tell her, yes, of course, but I mean, I'm too scared to do that. Everyone stares at my scar, and I'm sorry I got question 13 wrong, and I don't care if it's in a group, I'm not singing. When I was 18, I collapsed while making French toast for my sister's 16th birthday, which I refused to even nibble because I was starving myself until my thighs didn't wiggle so much, until they didn't wiggle at all, until there was a gap, until the gap was an inch thick, until I didn't have thighs at all. I locked myself naked in my bathroom, grabbing the skin that looks like fat. I remember the poetry I write, the sting on my collarbone I don't want to feel anymore. My broken body aches from running and running and running. The freckles in my eye, I say into the mirror, are kind of pretty. I nod at myself and whisper, thank you.
Those were so great. Thank you guys, everyone. Yeah.